Alright, hey everyone, samuelDJS here, and today I'm back with episode 3 of my Road to 1200 series. Now, before I get into a game though, I'd like to mention that the chess.com team sent me a message about my episode 2 opponent. He had indeed violated their fair play policy, which is unfortunate, but oh well. He was indeed a cheater, which is what I'm trying to say. He did indeed use an engine in more or less all of his games, which does explain his weird time management with his moves. So yeah, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into a game. Alright. And hopefully we get to play an actual human this time. I think saying human mistakes is usually more instructive than watching me getting swatted by sockfish. Anyway, although I hope that game was still instructive. Anyhow. Okay, so I'll start with my childhood opening. Nowadays I play the English, or C4, but for this series I'll try to stick with probably what I'd recommend beginners to play. It was the first opening I was taught, so it's very special to me. Okay, well, this is probably his first misstep. You want to develop your knights and bishops first. You don't want to bring your queen out. So that's why I didn't play a move like this. I instead played my knight first. The reason you don't want to develop the queen first is it's valuable, and it can get attacked easily. And if it gets attacked, you can't afford to lose it, so you have to move it away. You have to spend time moving it. And you don't want that. You want to develop you want to get as many pieces out as you can. You want to fight for the center. You want to get your king castled. And yeah, he's been doing a good job so after bringing his queen out, but the second move was not good. I'll continue putting pawns in the center, opening up this bishop. I can possibly go here to gain a tempo. A tempo is a move, and tempo in chess means time. So yeah, gaining a tempo means gaining a move. So bishop g5 gaining a tempo, it's gaining a tempo because he has to spend a second move moving his queen. And generally in the opening you don't want to move the same piece 2 times, so that's why I didn't want to necessarily go here, because that's moving my knight twice. Usually you want to move pieces only once. Usually. There are exceptions to the rules, of course, and of course there's exceptions to when it's okay to bring your queen out. For example, in my episode 1, where I played queen e2 aligning with his king, aligning a discovery, that's okay, because I'm aligning a discovery, I'm threatening to win material. I had a purpose with bringing out my queen. So yeah. There are exceptions to the rules, but generally this is bad, and generally moving the same piece twice is bad. Okay. I'll probably gain a tempo here. There's no reason to take the knight. You don't want to... I'm not a fan of trading pieces, usually. I like to keep pieces on the board, if I can. I will only trade pieces if I'm up material, because the game plan when you're up material is to trade down to an ending to assert your material advantage. But if you don't have a material advantage, I don't like to trade pieces. That's just not my playstyle. So yeah, I won't trade without a purpose, basically. I won't trade to trade. I'll castle here, get my king safe. You want to get your pieces. You want to get your bishops and knights out. You want to get yourself castled. You want to connect your rooks. You want to put your queen on in a. Usually you put your queen here or here, or if you like, maybe if you like move your c pawn to like try to fight for the center, then maybe you put your queen here. You don't want to lose time with this piece. Okay. So he brought his knight up. Also, well, this brings out his bishop. I prefer this square highlighted here, because if his bishop is on this square, he has a plan to like move this pawn and develop the other bishop. But since his bishop is blocking his pawn, which is blocking his other bishop, he is kind of sad. So I'm happy he put his bishop here instead of probably the superior square here, c5. Where do I want my queen? What's my plan? After you develop all your pieces, it's probably okay to move them again. This queen doesn't have a lot of squares. It can only move here. Oh, I'm not sure if there's a way to take advantage of that right now. I'll just move up here for now. Okay, so I'll move up here, and if I ever like try to attack his queen in the future, his only square is here, and then I can take his knight, but then he takes my knight. I don't know. I'll just play here for now. Connect my rooks. Pretty simple. Might as well just play fundamental stuff. Now taking this does kind of make sense, because there's a purpose. I'm doubling his pawns. And that makes his king weaker. So I might actually consider taking this in the near future. If I get to. Now if I had my bishop here, knight h4 would trap the queen. But unfortunately my bishop can't move through the pawn. Oh well. The bishop here is good, it pins this, so I should not complain. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. I'm curious to see how he'll develop this bishop. Maybe he'll put it on the long diagonal, but this diagonal does not make as much sense, because it's being blunted by this pawn here. His bishop would be what we call biting on granite. It's staring at this very well protected pawn, guarded by another pawn. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he plays here. I'd really want, if I was him, I'd really want to move this d pawn, to like move it up and get this bishop out. But he blocked it in. Maybe what he does is admit he made a mistake and move the bishop twice. I'm not sure. Okay. He does move the bishop twice, and instead he offers a trade of bishops instead of putting it on the diagonal. Fair enough. Okay. So this knight here is guarding two pieces. It's guarding the bishop, so that's why this is not a free bishop. It's also guarding this pawn, this valuable central pawn here. But his knight can't guard both at once, right? So in theory, if I take this, his knight has to. If his knight takes my bishop back, he has to leave this pawn. He has to abandon it. So I guess this is what I do. I overload his knight. This is called an overloaded piece. His knight is overloaded with too many tasks, and it can't do all at once. So he has to pick one. He has to pick a task to commit to, and the knight will give up his other duty, and I'll take a free pawn. That was a mistake, booming the bishop back. Okay, so I nabbed a pawn early, and I gained another tempo. It's convenient. Moving a piece I realize I moved a piece twice, but that's okay because I'm taking material. I have a reason for moving my piece twice. So generally, you don't want to move a piece twice unless you're improving it, moving it to a better square, or if you're taking material. Okay. So I could measly retreat, or I could gain space. What do I pick? Probably gaining space, because I don't want... Generally, if you don't have to retreat, you should not. So I will not retreat. I will play this instead. This cannot... This pawn sufficiently guards the knight. If he tries to undermine my pawn or something, I'll move back then, but otherwise I will not move back. The point of this is to overwork my pawn. That's funny. So if I try to take this, I'm not guarding my knight anymore and he takes my knight, but if I go here, I'm not going to fall for that. I'm going to move my knight back. I'll pull back. So, okay. Wait for... Okay, that's funny. Yeah, I'll probably pull my knight back for reasons I explained. And this pawn has 2 attackers, but fortunately for me, it has 2 defenders. Okay. I could try to be clever and insert this to gain more space. Should I, though? Okay, so he can take my knight, threatening my queen. I take his queen, he takes mine. So I'd be down a knight, and I could take this, and then it'd be even. And then in the end we would be even, except I took an extra pawn right here. I don't want to complicate the game, but that would include trading pieces. If I miscalculate something and something goes wrong and I lose material, that's not good. And if I take this, I'll still have a clear advantage. So I think I'll play this simple. I'll just take... I could have taken with the queen and offer a queen trade. Endgames are good for me because I'm up material. I'd be up material. I'd be up a pawn. But whatever. I want to take with the knight because this is an outpost. D6. This square is what we call an outpost. It can never be guarded by a pawn again. And outposts are very good for knights. Knights love outposts. They love being put on outposts. So that's why I took with the knight, because I get closer to this outpost. I'm 2 moves away now instead of 3. Although I guess this knight was 2 moves away, so maybe I should have taken with the queen. I'm not sure. It's marginal. Which move is better? I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So he is pinning my knight to my queen. So if I move my knight like here, he takes my queen, and that's not good. So I will probably guard my queen. Yeah. I also need to keep in mind that he's threatening this pawn. So if he gets a second attacker on this pawn, I'll need to respect the threat. Okay, yeah. There, you have to, in chess, I'd say for every 1 unit of time you spend making your move, you should spend 3 units of time asking yourself, what did my opponent just do? What is my opponent trying to do? What is his threat? Well, first you should ask what his threat is, and if you don't see a threat, you should ask what his plan is, or what he wants. And here he just added a second attacker. And if he takes us with this queen, that's checkmate. And checkmate is not good if you're getting checkmate. Checkmate is not good. So I will probably, if I move up, that saves the pawn, but that does not save my king. So I'll probably just need to defend the square. That probably means I move my knight back. I don't want to move my pawn up. That means these squares could never be guarded again, and that can be potentially dangerous. So I think I'll move my knight back. I realize I'm retreating, and I don't want to retreat, but I feel like I'm forced to. Now I'm offering a queen trade. He'll probably not accept, because queen trades are good for me, but maybe he doesn't understand the concept of queen trades are bad. I'm not sure. It's weird that I was not showing the meetings. Oh, he's 529. Okay. Okay, so he does trade. Okay, so I can think about which way I take back. But I will eventually want to put my rooks on open files or semi-open files. A semi-open file is a column that you don't have an allied pawn on. So there's a pawn on this column, but it's not my pawn. You can't capture your own pieces, so this pawn would like block my rook. So I want to put my rooks on files that will not be blocked by my pawns, because that will maximize their power, that will maximize their activity, and that's this column right here. And if I take with my knight blocking my own rook, that doesn't make sense. And if I take with this, I'm preparing to put my other rook on this same file, which is what I want. So yeah, that's why I take with the rook here. And also I don't want to retreat further. I don't want that. What my plan is, I'll aim to put my knight here. Okay. What did he do? He put his rook on his semi-open file. And then if he moves his knight in the future, he'll be attacking this pawn. But my knight is defending it. But if I move my knight, he'll be attacking this pawn when he moves this knight. But actually, if I move this knight, and I go here, I'm still making a lot of threats, but I'm also simultaneously guarding my own pawn. So maybe I do play this. Yeah. I need to do it now. I can't waste a single move doing this, or then my knight will be stuck defending this pawn. I will never be able to get to d6 with this knight, unless I add protection. So I think I need to go in right now. Not only am I trying to go to the outpost, I have a very devilish threat of this fork here. A fork is when you attack two pieces at once with the same piece. And since how chess works, you can only move one piece per turn. They can only save one of those two pieces, and whichever one they save, you take the other one. That's what the fork is called. It's kind of like stabbing two victims with a utensil. But only one of them can get off, and then you eat the other one. Whatever. Okay, whatever. Basically, this is going to be a double attack, and then he's only going to be able to save one of his rooks, and I'll take the other one. If he doesn't stop this, if he doesn't spend a move like moving one of his rooks. Or if he had a way to control this square, like if this was a bishop and he could like put his bishop here, then that would also stop the fork, I guess. But yeah, he has to respect this fork that I'm threatening. So yeah. Wait for him to move. So he can't like spend a move trying to attack my pawn, or I'll fork him. So yeah. Wait for him to move. I guess I did sign up for a waiting game, because when you're playing a 30-minute game, you can kind of, you have a lot of time to think, and yeah. I guess I'm glad my opponent isn't moving every 15 seconds, because then I know something's up. Yeah. This is like a human amount of time to spend. Like, it's variable, kind of a variable how much time you spend per move. Because some moves are harder to play than others, which is easy to understand. Some moves take calculation. Some moves are obvious captures. So like, right here, he did not spend that much time taking this bishop, because obviously that's the entire point of putting the bishop here in the first place. So like, if he tries to trade, you'd obviously take the piece back. And here he was probably having a dilemma, oh my god, how would I develop this bishop? He's like trying to, he had this problem with this bishop here, and he needed to come up with a solution. So he spent a minute. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. Maybe a way to stop this. Oh, maybe he doesn't want to go here, but oh, he disconnected. Okay, maybe that's why he's... Yeah, maybe that's why he's taking so much time. Maybe he doesn't want to go here because that hangs the pawn. Because the rook won't guard the pawn anymore if it's here. Maybe he's delivering... I don't want to move this rook off this file. I want to not unguard the pawn. But then how else do I stop the fork? Or I guess it's because he disconnected. Well, that's a bummer if we'll never actually get to find out who would have won this game. If he just runs down his clock. Huh, that's unfortunate. I might cut the recording here if he doesn't reconnect in time, but I'll have to wait and see. Okay. Huh. Okay. Please come back. Please. Please. Okay. Do you always disconnect in these games? Probably not. It has a fairly human win ratio. Oh, he's back. Okay, that's good. We will get to continue our game. That's good to know. So yeah. Anything I want to say back here? Yeah, I guess he should have. Bringing the queen out isn't good, and he should have put his bishop here, so he didn't have to move it again. And moving it again was a mistake in itself, because he overloaded his knight. Controlling the center. This is probably a mistake, because it weakens the square. And he doesn't actually get anything done by playing this move. Okay, yeah. That's unfortunate. He never got to finish the game. That's sad. Yeah, it's... I guess this game also shows the importance of recognizing my opponent's plan of trying to checkmate me. Because if I had just gone full speed ahead, blind, like a bat, straight ahead with knight b5, knight db5, because multiple knights could go to b5, so I have to specify which knight. That's checkmate, and I lose, and that's just sad. And I guess that would mean I lose rating, which would also mean a longer series. So that's not a total loss, but whatever. Okay. I need to recognize his threat. I need to ask myself what was the purpose of my opponent's last move. That's, oh, okay, to checkmate me. So I have to stop it. So, yeah. That's basically the game. Not too much to talk about here since we never actually got to finish it, but hope that was enjoyable anyway. So, thanks for watching, and see you all in the next video.